Watch what we say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Watch
boy.
what you say. We're live. We're live.
Oh man, what a morning! What a
on
morning!
this cold ass Thursday morning.
Is it cold ass over there where you are?
Yeah, really. It's like close the windows and everything. It's like, what the heck? We're only like at the end of April and it's like 40 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's nice for you. We're 29 this morning.
Ew.
Yeah. Just obscene.
That's it. Weather's canceled.
The wife was worried there'd be frost on the car this morning. Luckily, there wasn't.
Yeah. Right now, my Amazon show is reporting 32 outside.
Ew.
Yeah, it's like 32 degrees. It's April. It's late April.
Yeah, they said we'll be
real.
lucky to get up to 48 today.
It'll have the nerve to rain. It will.
No.
But some people are getting snow.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
people are.
Well, who have been joined by? Hey, wait a minute. What are you doing here?
Hello.
You gotta-
Hello.
Who?
You got a show at 11.
The Indie Princess.
Hi, Daphne.
Hey.
So wait, you don't have a geekgasm last night? You guys tried to invade here? No.
Marby
Yeah.
says, have a great show and a wonderful day, my friends. I'll catch you later.
Obrigado.
Take
See you
care.
later.
Bye, Marby. Doing well. Don't get me started. This isn't
Hey,
a
Pops.
mama's podcast.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a-
it's not.
It's your mama's podcast.
It's your mama's podcast. Wakey, buzzing with Jakey. Jakey's
Oh, that's for
already
sure.
wide awake.
That's for sure. It's not official until Jake and Joe are in the house.
If you're here, hit that like button if you can. I need to go over.
You gotta hit the like button for these nice
Oh, that's
boys.
right. You have Joe. You have Joe's show later, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No, on Sugar's show.
She's morning roast.
Oh,
The morning
no,
roast.
that's on Friday. That's on Friday, right?
Friday, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see, my days are all off. They've been all off since last year. So, it's like,
It's the only reason I'm up because I have a show at 11.
right? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Come on in. Glenn Fleming says, get up.
Yeah.
It's afternoon here in the real world.
Ha.
It's all surreal for us, Glenn.
Yeah, I know. This morning stuff is overrated.
It really is.
Welcome to the land.
So
of
did
the
you get?
eternally
Did you at
point.
least get your work done last night? Because I know yesterday, I don't know, we were just all swamped. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we got a chance to go to Dan Frazier's house at the start of this documentary that Indio's shooting on him. He has a very large art collection, over 800 pieces of original art.
Oh, okay.
Artist, and he's had a lot of George Perez, Bernie Wrightson, just Jim Lee, Mike
Right.
Turner.
He's the one that he wants to sell off some of his pieces.
Yeah.
Kinda
It's not
convinced him to
just
do
it's not
proper.
just George Perez. It's George Perez drawing in the largest sketchbook that you can imagine.
Ha.
Scenes like Scarlet Witch fighting Zatanna.
Yeah,
Right.
and I got pictures of a lot of that.
Amazing.
And we talked to Dan, and actually, I brought one of the sketchbooks home because Dan is going to allow me to draw him a sketch.
Cool.
Oh, okay. So you just didn't make up a reason to steal a sketchbook.
No.
Yeah, it's not the one with the Michael Taylor piece in it. Is it?
The Michael Turner pieces? No.
Michael Turner?
No. I tried to get out with those, but he has really good security.
Right.
And
Just kept slapping your hand.
Uh-huh.
That's why I couldn't do any shows last night because I was the photographer.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So it was a work night. It was definitely a work night.
It was
yeah.
a work night, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Eric says, answer your messenger, V. Yeah, he's been ignoring his Facebook for a while now. Something about not having it on his phone or something.
yes, sir. I'm trying to get rid of it.
William Bates says, must I really hit the like button?
Yes,
Well,
you must. You
can
must.
gently caress it if you want, but definitely
Right.
press it. Press it. Good morning, you all. Good morning, Jennifer. Hope you're doing well.
Good morning.
But I felt pressured. Well, we don't mean to pressure you, William.
Wait. We got a contract you got to sign.
Good.
You agree to do this. You said it was cool.
Got a what?
I'm just making horrible jokes. Oh, by the way, too, I got an email about you, Randy.
What about me?
I'll talk to you after the show. I meant to tell you. I got it last night.
Somebody complaining?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm talking over too many people. Is that what it is?
No.
Right.
You made a comment the other day that may be taken. They may have been taken. I don't think you meant what you said.
Incorrectly?
Yeah.
Oh, out of context.
We can discuss it on the show if you want.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I mean, if the comment was said on the show.
So we were talking about rolling over. We were talking about how the geese in my neighborhood have no fear. And as I walk through the parking lot, as I walk through the parking lot of some of the like Best Buy, I was noticing they were like sitting in spaces. And normally they do this when they're cold.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of huddle in and just sit. And I said yes, and I'm afraid because if I hit one of the other geese will be standing over there for a phone and record it, and they'll be I'll be canceled by geese.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, that's worse. Yes.
Yeah, and I have to fight geese and everything.
Yeah.
They're always standing by the side of the road with their phones.
Yeah.
Geese, it's like geese are horrible, only to be topped by swans. Swans have actually been known to drown people.
See,
geese are mean. They're mean.
Mm-hmm. I think they should. Well, yeah.
We go out walking on a trail. They just leave their crap everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
They don't care.
They're really toxic.
You think they'd at least kick it off the sidewalk or whatever? Yeah. Anyway, what did I say? Probably in haste that I wasn't thinking.
Was it about geese?
Is it about the geese?
You said. I said I'd be on TV like on YouTube, like fighting with a goose.
Right.
Some silly gander.
Right. Yes.
On the side of the road. And you said, yeah. And you said, mother. And I thought you meant Mother Goose. But the email thought you were making light of the current situation that just ended.
Right. Yeah.
The current situation.
Yeah.
What?
That's kind of a stretch. I think that's kind of a reach.
Yeah.
That's a hard reach. That's an incredibly hard reach.
And I'm like, he was making a Mother Goose comment, and when people,
I was making a remark about you crying for your mom, but
that's it. Yeah, you see, that's.
But I didn't mean that in any type of
right. Yeah, that's the connection.
Any type of an outlying connection to.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, we don't talk politics or news, or we try not to.
Yeah.
Heck, we try to avoid the bug at all costs. So
yeah. I mean, I think
let alone anything topical.
Yeah. We don't talk topics on this show.
I mean, I would think that the context of the of the story would have. I mean, it's like I understand the connection, but I think it's a little bit of a reach considering the context of the story.
Yeah. Yep. If I'd have, never mind.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Let's just say that no, I meant nothing political. I meant nothing.
Right.
That's a hard reach around. Hey, who's giving hard reach arounds?
That was incredibly hard reach around.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And they missed. They couldn't grab nothing. So they're grasping at air.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
wait a minute. You're grasping at straws. Let's not take that out of context either.
Right. I think that the context of the story should have been obvious.
And in my mind, that story is done. It's an important. I'm not arguing with the importance of the of that story. It's very important, and I don't mean to demean it, but I don't mean to pick on it either. So.
Right. And we were talking about geese.
Yeah, all this
we were talking about geese. Yes.
All this about the geese having cell phones.
Right. Yeah.
And T-Mobile plans.
And T-Mobile plans.
They're passing a law. Only
well, they might be on Verizon because it is the largest 5G network or whatever it is. The commercial says.
Yeah.
Verizon will sell a phone to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's up me.
Yeah.
All them geese better have good credit ratings. That's
Lola was like, I'm not getting a phone from one of these companies. I'll go to Cricket. And my joke used to be that's because that's what you'll hear when you try to get a call. Or crickets, and there's nothing.
Right. But isn't Cricket like the old people phone?
No.
No.
Oh no. Oh.
It's it sounds like it should be. That's jitterbug.
Thanks, Daphne.
Oh, that's it. I'm mixing up my insects.
Professor Trico has jitterbug.
Plastic straws wrapped with paper, or paper straws wrapped in plastic.
That's true. One is more environmentally friendly than the other.
No more plastic straws, but paper straws wrapped in plastic.
Yes, exactly.
Geese running on fiber? Well, that's a luxury.
Well, geese they know the hookup.
Geese
run shit.
Yes, they do.
Trico says, I have jitterbug.
Jitterbug.
We have the jitters, but it's because of the coffee.
Yeah.
Let's roll that sweet intro, Randy, and get into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. Right. We should.
Let's roll that opening.
Who's gonna roll it?
I'll roll it.
Roll that
Can't
joint.
nobody tell me nothing.
How dare you? Drop the taco. Get in the car.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Are we gonna stop the coffee?
Yeah.
I guess we'll stop.
Yeah,
We'll stop
probably,
the coffee.
yeah.
That's way up there. There we go.
Good morning.
Holy crap. Morning, everyone. This is the Breakfast Buzz for the 22nd of April, 2021.
Lola, you need a tan.
Well, it has to stop being 40 degrees outside first.
I'm switching places here. There you go.
Yeah, there
You're in
you
the
go.
loop. Your camera's still off.
She needs a tan.
Needs a tan.
Like it's like UV over there right now. Remember that movie Powder?
Yes.
Yeah. I better stop talking about her skin color before I get canceled. It'll finally go the other way.
Heaven forbid somebody take it the wrong way. Yeah.
Are you suggesting she should darken up? What?
Says William says, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I think something about the flop.
Says caught me. All right, me blabbers, me babbers.
Babbers.
Hello.
Hey, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Yo, Jake. State Farm.
From State Farm. Okay.
Morning, friends. The flock got funded. Good for you, Scott.
Huzzah.
Awesome. Thanks for your support. No problem.
No problem, Scott. It was great to look at that book, and we appreciate it.
Pop says, Dave. Why is Varian a monkey?
Oh, great. Something else someone can take out of context.
CJs? What? No, it wasn't intentional.
It's
and that's an angry monkey.
Yeah,
it's
an
Randy's mascot.
54 backers on Indie Vote Revolt.
For a radio audience. Varian has an icon of Spank the Monkey on the screen right now.
Yeah.
That is no, exactly.
It's early in the morning.
It's a cartoon reference.
And things, my face is still falling into place.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. He looks like a Picasso right now, so he needs to.
Yeah.
She said, "Dare you?" Showing that tooth like she was from the hood.
How dare you?
How dare you? Hail, pops, hail,
Hail,
Austin.
Pops.
Yoda Dark.
Congrats, Scott. Yes, absolutely. Congrats, Scott. Pops. Whatever. Yep. Good morning, folks. Morning, Nine Realms.
Good morning.
Hope you're doing well.
Good morning, my
Moden. Hope Moden is doing well. Good. Indie Volt Radio is a monkey business.
That's true. We love our wrenches.
Hey, Nine Realms.
We throw wrenches into the
Wrenches into the
chat.
Monkey Works chat.
Do
we have radio numbers? It's too early.
It's too
No, I have them at 32.
Everyone's still waking
Start,
up.
everybody. Wake your friends and family up. Tell them we're on the air. Everybody out there.
We're talking. Well, yeah.
We're talking this morning. Yeah.
Indie Volt Radio starts with a hot one this morning. Right?
Ooh.
This is a hot one.
Well, because we're talking about geese.
No, we're talking about we're talking about printing and check this out. This is yeah. And
might be something we know a little bit about. Sure.
This is from Ryan.
Ryan.
And Ryan is pissed about printing. Ryan says,
Are you calling me a monkey wrench? LMAO. Throw myself. Monday.
Himself Monday. This is, Ryan here says that I'm really upset about the printing landscape with print-on-demand companies. They aren't competing enough for our business. In fact, they haven't competed in a while. I'm seeing where they're offering ad space in the book for maybe, if you're lucky, $3 off your entire print order. This is insulting. I don't see why people will even give them that luxury of letting them print in their books. What do you guys think? And that's from Ryan. Ryan's out of Missouri. He put a stake in there. Thank you, Ryan. So you're not that anonymous. Thank you. I felt that way too, Ryan. I don't usually in my comics print the printer ad just because what I print through, it's I'd rather pay like the additional $7-8. Like I really don't save that much, so why not?
Right.
And that gives me another page to maybe put a house ad in there, or maybe an ad where somebody's going to pay me $50.
It's a matter of personal choice, yes, but
Yeah.
they should put that ad in on a sliding scale.
Yeah,
like a percentage off of your order or something, as opposed to a definite, set fee.
Yeah, I know when I did the one of the companies that I use, I think there's a price difference depending on where in the book you put it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put it like on like you put it on the inside front cover, I think you get a little bit more, but it's still like very small, a small amount. I mean, you might as well go ahead and pay the extra, $6 or $7 you're gonna, save. What do you guys think?
I hate that ad thing, but it's, you can choose to do it or not. So it's, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, my issue is that how comic book printers, like the ones that we know, we mostly know them by word of mouth. They're kind of like a little hard to find. So yeah, so I understand, when he says that they're not really competing, because it's like, it's like you have to talk to other comic book creators to know, to find out who they're printing with, and then you have to experiment with them, and it's a whole process. It's not like, I mean, you could go to like a printer like our sponsor Mixum, which printed this my lovely trade paperback currently on Kickstarter for Tall Tales Volume 1. But the thing is, though, they're expensive. I mean, they're really, really good. They can do comics, but they're a bit on the pricey side. So if you're looking for something affordable, you kind of have to dig, and you kind of have to talk to people.
That's true. That's true. Let me see here. 1 second. What is my? Let me see. Oops, sorry.
Hey, what? Hey,
It's my computer's acting all kinds of weird. Randy, what do you think about that?
Bob says YouTube is killing the links again.
Are they?
I think it's up to the discretion of the printer. But on the other hand, there is such a thing as comparative pricing, and getting estimates from a couple of different print-on-demand guys and making them compete for your job yourself, and going, hey, I got a printer here that charges me X amount, and you're like $1 higher. What the heck? Can you come down $1? Because if you came down $1, I'd use you.
Yeah, especially if they're like closer or something to you or something.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong about asking for or dickering with your printer on a job before you pay them. The key is to make sure that you hold up to your agreement with the printer, and that you pay what you have agreed on paying. Right. But a lot of these printers, like the local one for us, they're always running 10-20% off with a password or something like that. So there's no harm in going, ouch, can you come down any on that price?
Daphne, could you hold that? Could you hold that book?
Oh, all right. Yes.
Mix them up one more time.
Yes. Right. Yes. So
I have to make sure it's a company with the proper theme music. 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
on Kickstarter right now. It's proofed by our beautiful sponsor, Mixum. Beautiful job. Recommend them. So yes, also it's like we're $50. We're $50 away from breaking our first from unlocking our first stretch goal. If you want this beautiful book by our sponsor, Mixum.
It must be accompanied with Gregorian chant.
Right,
and,
yes.
Strings. Part of the agreement now. No, that's not part of the agreement.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like, you know, Mixum. It's they're a really good company. We use them. They're really good for perfect bound books. I think that their floppies are a little. I mean, it's like
Their floppies are excellent. Come on.
Well, yeah, they are. To tell you the truth, I think their
for being a
floppies
sponsor
are
of Indie Volt,
a little too excellent. To tell you the truth, I think they're a little too excellent. You know, it's like it's you know, you get your comic and it has like this beautiful like 100-point cover with lamination on it, and the thing just holds up. But there's just something about, I don't know. I kind of like my comics to feel more like this. Like if we're gonna do a floppy, I want it to be floppy.
Let's make it floppy, folks. Yeah. Okay.
This one is Lola. What do you think about ads? You're not running ads in Lore because it's a trade. But would you be okay running ads from the printer if you decide to do a 32-page standard comic?
No.
Damn.
I've always been against it.
Yeah.
My only minor complaint is that it's the same ad.
Well,
year after year after year after year after year.
Well,
in everybody's book. Everybody has the same ad in their book.
Well, I kind of think they do that on purpose so that you really associate, because it's like, yeah, because that ad just popped into my head because I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I know the printer that you're talking about. And so it's like, I guess that's on purpose.
It's more than one printer. I've seen the same ad over and over again, though. It's not just, I'm not picking on any at all.
Okay. Because I only know of the one, but then again, it's like, you know, it's been like, you know, a year and a half.
Switch it up a little.
I'll say this.
At a convention.
Even McDonald's changes their commercials every once in a while.
Sure.
I gotta you know, I own Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group. And we get books into our shop quite often. And I received some books yesterday that they were right from the printer. I'm not gonna call the printer out. It's not a local printer. And they came right from the printer to us yesterday. And I wrote the person who sent me the books, had the printer send me the books, and I told him I've never seen books packed more haphazardly. Oversized box, no protection around them. The books were wrapped in you know, what, saran wrap, but you know,
saran
wrap.
A plastic
shrink wrap.
Yeah. And they had a little paper brown paper strip around them so they wouldn't, you know, shift too much, but they were just knocking around in that box. The box was beat the hell up, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Were the books in good shape though?
Yeah, I was about to say, well, at least
they had been, a couple of them had been, you know, you could tell they've been knocked around in there a bit. They weren't, it wasn't a complete loss, probably maybe like 3 or 4 issues. That's why it's like, you know, like I can't, you know, I'm not gonna send these to anybody. Took pictures and sent them to the person and said, look, you know, here's what happened. But that's the first time that's happened. That's the first time that happened. That came right from the printer to us. And I won't say the printer's name. If anybody's interested, I'll let them know who did it. But I mean, I'm not gonna say it here on air because they're not a sponsor either, but still.
Yeah.
Right.
Things happen if you don't wrap up and use protection in comics and in life.
Right, exactly.
The more you know.
I think it's because I was about to say, it's like, who do you think they are? Diamond? I mean, Diamond would just ship the books just straight in the just straight in the box, and
Diamond won't let a printer print an oddball size unless they can definitely slam it into a box somehow.
You know,
also Brenner. I don't think they exist anymore, so I'm just gonna talk about them. It's like, yeah, but Brenner would do that too. Like they wouldn't like like always it's like the first layer of comics in the box were like wrecked, no matter what.
My only bad print job that I've ever run across, I mean, really bad, was from Brenner.
Yeah.
Was it
It's like,
was it bad? Like, how many books?
Like the books would be scuffed and dinged, and you would lose literally. It's like you would lose like a stack of like this of books from the top.
So those are the ones you gave out to friends, right? Here, take it.
Yeah, that's all you could do, But it's like, but it was like, there was like no getting around it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you could only hope that they did overages.
I remember a scam artist I knew.
Oh, I don't know if that's true. Trico says Diamond Throws used protection along with comics. LOL. Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Finishing this one in the box it goes.
This is good God. Who are we talking about?
Nah,
printers,
son.
I think.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about printers.
That would be
our comeback, whatever.
Our comeback. It's on your spine, technically. Never mind.
A brown bag for my erotica for comics and for my head.
Right, exactly. Yes. Proper brown bag.
Also would like another to make today a quintet. What?
Oh. Oh, he's asking for a link.
Well, I got a guy here pretty soon because I got a doctor's appointment. And Randy, you're leaving right at 11? Or right at 11 you're leaving?
Who?
Are you leaving
Today's
right at 11?
Today is a full day for all of us.
Yeah, I am. No, I got a lot of work to do. But
yeah.
No, not today. I don't have to leave right at 11. When we do Sunday funnies on Sunday, I'm leaving right at 11.
Okay, okay. I thought it was today. You're like, I'm out of here.
Figured out who we're having on the Sunday program yet, but it'll be fun and it'll be abrupt.
Sure.
We're done.
Pure chaos.
We might even have a short show that day.
Yeah. Where are you from? Hurry up. No one needs to know all that extra shit. Stop pitching.
It's our anniversary, the wife's and I's anniversary
so there you
weekend,
go.
and she wants to go, so we're going.
So yesterday I got a message, and it said, "Hey, what does Pitches Be Crazy do for the indie community?" And I said, well, what do you mean? Like, it serves no purpose, the show. And I'm like, it doesn't? And they're like, no. And I said, it doesn't offer really constructive criticism to the book and anything. I said, oh, well, no.
Wow,
Shit.
we are one show in.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And people are like going, why are you here? Why are you even here? What the heck? Why are you here?
You got to work out the kinks about. I mean, I didn't even watch the show yet.
everything starts at a beginking. Now, come on.
Well, the problem is that I think people are expecting it to be a show that's full of like, oh, listen, they gave me this jewel, this nugget of wisdom. It's about having fun. Okay, these are active campaigns. Okay, so we're still highlighting the person's campaigns. We're highlighting 2 campaigns per show. So it's not like a lot. We're not going through like, we don't have 8 or 9 people on trying to pitch. We have 2. And then they get to have some fun with it because we throw them a curveball. Okay, now pitch your book, as if you're Daphne Lage. Pitch your book, as a rap. Pitch your book as a movie, as with the movie guy voice in a world where that there.
Well, to tell you the truth, I mean, it's like maybe it might not be educational. I mean, from what you're telling, because like I said, I didn't watch the first show, so I'm not familiar. But I mean, just from what you're telling me, I mean, it actually could be educational because it's like you're making people think about their marketing and their pitching, like on the fly. Like how would it's like if you had 30 seconds, how would you do it?
If you pitch something and you do learn something, great. But listen, here's the thing. I made a video about it last night. People are stressed when they're running campaigns.
Yeah.
People are really stressed. If we can give somebody just a quick 30 minutes to just have fun with their product again,
right,
then great. That's what we're here for. We're here to have fun.
And we add to their blood pressure. It's all good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could be. Why not both?
Now pitch it as a romance. Do it.
Yeah.
Pitch it as a rom-com. You can do it.
And also don't forget, they win money if they win. They win. We back their campaign up to $50. So, there's like there's that. It's like it's still fun, and they're not wasting their time. And even the person who doesn't win the $50 gets a back. We had Mike still got a backer, even when he was on the show. He didn't win. Max won, but he still had a spotlight on his book and still got a backer. Right. So it was worth it. It was still a benefit for him coming on the show. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that it's one show. I think that might be a hard, but also it's like it depends on what they're looking for. If you're looking for a show that does like actual critique,
there's a lot of them out there to do that. Yeah,
it's like you probably could find shows that do that look at people's campaigns. It's like, well, if you did this and that and the other thing, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, there's there's shows for that. I mean, obviously, this is not that type of show.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. There's shows that do that all over. We don't. I was told we should critique the books that we have on It Came From Webtoon, and that's not what Eric is doing.
Right.
Eric wants to highlight.
Yeah, I mean that's also a rough thing. The whole concept of critique and all that, because it's like it's really. One, it's subjective, and the thing is, and also another thing too, it's like it's kind of a fine line, because people say they want critique until they get it, and then it's like everyone's in their feels about it. So I mean,
and not every show should be about critiquing anyway.
Right? Yeah.
Because then you can be mistaken for tearing down as opposed to building
right
up.
Yeah, so it's like, if you're looking for actual critique, it's probably something that you should search out on your own, so that you get what you specifically need from it, as opposed to putting it out there in a general forum and having to deal with people who don't know how to giving you critique, who don't know how to leave an Amazon review. So it's like
oh, you don't want that, sir. You don't want that.
Jake is rolling. 9 Realm says I need to come on pitches be crazy.
Yeah.
I want honest criticism.
Right, yeah. And yeah, it's
gets negative criticism. Yeah.
And yeah, it depends on because
why would you say that?
Right, yeah. I mean, it's a rough place to be. I mean, it's a criticism is important, but also it's like the type of criticism, do you really want it? It's a whole thing.
Joe said the show I was on, the other judges made me out to be Simon Cowell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you were very mean, so
yeah. But that's okay. At times, people need to hear some stuff every once in a while.
Yeah, it's
but it's constant criticism all the time, though, is just tear down.
Right. I mean, it's like, look, there's a difference between somebody saying that, oh, maybe you should really clarify point X or something, and
you have a loose wire in your microphone.
Like, what happened?
Your volume has jumped up real. It went back down. It might have been StreamYard. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right, because I didn't notice anything in my headphones. Okay. All right. Yeah, tell me if it happens again, and then I'll just reboot.
Okay.
What was I saying?
Sorry.
Oh, that there's a difference between, saying that it's like maybe you should clarify, X, Y, or Z, and someone just outright saying it's like, oh, this sucks. I don't like it. Because also it's like you have the people who confuse personal opinion with criticism, and I know that there's an overlap, but there's a difference. There's a difference.
Don't do it, Jennifer. Don't mention that. Don't pay for criticism.
Don't do it.
Because there is somebody out here who will take your money, and they hadn't done shit.
Right.
Too many people want to take advantage of people like that.
Yeah.
I offer a service. I've had 3 successful Kickstarters, all of which I've made $5 on. It's awesome.
I mean, I would recommend
teach you how to have a successful Kickstarter too. Just pay me $500.
Wow.
Oh, there are people out there like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I would recommend just finding maybe a forum or something, see how they treat other creators in that forum, and then working with that in order to like get criticism, like actual useful criticism.
I want to I want to show you guys. I want to read this next email that we got out to you guys. It's gonna make you very sad.
Oh no.
Um.
Well, beats being angry, I guess.
Yeah, these are
Thursday morning. Come on.
Yeah. And yeah. What did you say, ready?
I said it's Thursday morning. How much sadder can we be?
Yeah.
Well, this one here is from this. I'm sorry, I lost it. Okay, there we go. This one here is from Michael. Michael says, "Hello, Indie Vote. I've been watching the show for about a year and a half now, and I really like what you guys do."
Thank you.
Okay. I just recently started. Yeah, I just recently started reading independent comics. My wife and I really. I'm sorry. My wife and I bonded over our love for Howard the Duck. Okay. He says it was one of the first dates he went to. Seeing the film.
Oh boy.
JD just got that on DVD.
Yeah.
Nobody has seen it. Have you ever seen it before?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I think it's more clouded by nostalgia than anything now.
I might have to sit through it again because it's been a long time since I watched it. But,
so he says that last year his wife was diagnosed with cancer and it's been a rough go. But he says she would have peaks and valleys during the battle.
Sure.
One of the things she enjoyed was watching Howard the Duck ad nauseum on loop in our home.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
So imagine how excited I was when I found that Howard the Duck had a model toy released. I went to the website and quickly made the $49 purchase. Mm-hmm. I waited for weeks to the point I forgot about it. Mm-hmm. I went to the company and they don't exist anymore. Until recently, they popped back up with the toy yet again made available for sale. I'm gonna show you guys the toy they put up.
It's gotta be that might be a shadow business too.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That looks like Howard.
Yeah. So he says that
it's like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah.
He said he found it.
That's about the right era.
Yeah.
He found it on a in one of these Facebook ads. He found it, and
gotta be careful.
Yeah,
really. He sent me a link to the site. I checked it out. I mean, you know what? I hate to say it, Michael, but I believe that you did get scammed. The best thing you could do is contact your credit card company,
right?
Let them know. Also, contact Facebook and let them know, hey, you're running a fake ad.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
These people.
I found that's. Remember. Back when in the old days, you'd always see these commercials right around Christmas for all the junky crap that, not necessarily, well, Chia Pets was part of that kind of thing.
Right,
but, and then when you got it in the mail, it'd be so disappointing. You'd think it was bigger than what it was, and it comes in real small. And I've had that problem consistently with Facebook. Where I ordered a set of like animal bookmarks that looked like they were really awesome and very big, and I get them in and they're real dinky and incredibly small. Or I ordered a template for laying down transfers for T-shirts that was supposed to be incredibly wide, and it come in just barely like 10 inches wide, and it was pretty close to useless for my intents and purposes. It looked like it was the same thing that was on the video, and it looked really good until you get it in the mail and you go, oh. Is that what it is? Well, that's crappy and crummy. And then there's another instance where I've ordered off of Facebook and I never got the item. Period. Just never got it. Luckily, it wasn't that much to make a big deal about, but it was going to be a nice little Christmas gift. But you have to be incredibly careful ordering anything off of Facebook or eBay or any of these places, because there's so many shysters out there that just want to take your money, and there's so many scammers out there that are just looking for your information.
Yeah, which is the real prize that they're going after, to tell you the truth. But the thing is, though, it's like the fact that it sounded like when he originally pre-purchased this doll, it was from an actual company. Yeah. But the company just went out of business before they could manufacture it. So I guess be glad that you're only out $50. I mean, especially for what it looks like.
Yeah. Some of these scammers don't realize too when they're taking those pictures, they're actually giving away stuff because I was looking at that picture. There's a tag on that picture that tells you who made the dial. So reach out to that person, Michael.
That's true. Yeah.
Not only that, but a lot of these digital photographs are very encoded, and you could probably track it down.
Like right there, there's a name that Krealo, Krealo.
Because also the thing is to take into consideration, this might be a custom piece.
Might be
they're
too.
that they're just photographing to make it look like that. Because like I said, for $50, that doesn't look like a $50 doll.
No.
I mean, it's like there was I pre-purchased from what's the name of that website, Big Toys or something, and it was the Heavy Metal Tarna. And that was running me almost $200, and the thing I think is like only this big. So it's like just to look at that doll and say that it's $50, like something's fishy already, as far as I'm concerned.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, you can look at this site. You can tell this is a quick and dirty site.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think that might be just a commission that they're just passing around the photo.
Yeah,
I would
question any secondary site like that.
Yeah. Because you know what? Because if this is an actual release, then more than one person should have this.
Yeah.
Pat Koala's put a couple of links in the chat for other sites that are probably for better.
Yeah.
It looks like an Etsy felt crafted piece. Imperium says.
Yeah.
Very sorry.
But but the tag,
So always PayPal refund. Will refund. Swap meet with plush photos. Yeah. Found at the $275. Pat says, okay.
Right. So it's probably definitely that's a commission. That looks like you see, $275 is exactly what I would think that thing would go for.
Yeah.
You know, so not $50. If they're offering $50, it's because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Michael also goes and asks, would any of you guys be open to doing commissions of Howard if I contact you?
Oh wow! I mean, I would love to help, but I am just swamped right now. It's like I got commissions I owe people. Yeah.
The same with me. I'm backed up. You wouldn't believe. I'm having a hard time getting up to date on what I need to do.
Shoot me a message on IndieVolt, Michael, and I'll.
Varian will be able to find people for you.
Yeah. Let people know that you're looking for commissions on for Howard. We can't offer those services.
I hope your wife is doing well.
We can't offer commission services on characters that are owned by other companies.
No, we can't.
But he can get you in touch with artists who can do artwork for you.
Just don't do an NFT. Holy crap!
Yeah.
They'll come up and slam your buds.
What are you doing? What are you doing? My name's DC. Now, finally.
Okay.
Michael Oden says, I can do a Howard drawing for.
There you go.
Yeah. Here we go.
So there's a switch over. So I drew I drew people for Michael Oden, and now Michael Oden is going to draw furries for people.
Yeah. This one is okay. This one's from Nikolai.
We should probably get an address from that guy, and we could run it as a scrolling banner. Draw Howard the Duck for so and so. Send it to here.
Yeah, we could if he's willing to do that. Michael, email me back and let me know. Nikolai is very upset.
Oh no. About printers and eBay scammers.
No, he's upset about artists.
That.
Yeah. His wife is an artist. He says, so I'm gonna paraphrase because his I don't think English is his first language he types in.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, so what's happened here is that Nikolai's wife is also an artist, and she is working on a book and a campaign with another gentleman.
Okay.
And according to the letter, their relationship became too much to where I had to speak to her. She became enraged and left out of my home. For 4 days, I no see her. sorry, for 4 days I did not see her basically, only to discover that she had gone to the airport and flown to Milwaukee to be with him.
Oh
Okay?
no!
Yeah.
No!
Now. Here's the thing.
Mm.
And then I find son of a-hole artist on your show weeks ago acting like nothing has happened.
Wow.
Nikolai, I don't know.
Well,
Wow.
Nikolai, we cannot and do not control the personal lives of people that are on our show.
I mean, look. Yeah, I know. It's like I'm sorry that your life turned into a telenovela, but
we frequently run we run this banner usually once a show, and we probably should run it now.
Wow.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Indie Volt Media LLC, do not reflect the official policy or position of any guest or sponsors. Viewer discretion is advised.
Wow.
So we're very, very sorry for your unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah, I don't even want to joke about it because it's like there's just a lot going on here.
That's tough, bro. That's tough.
But we have no control. I mean, it's like, people come on here, they talk about their campaigns, we talk about art, maybe we say some silly stuff, but that's pretty much the extent of it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Odin said it himself.
Yeah.
And we've all got our personal problems and hurdles that we run over, but we do this program in order to provide entertainment as an escape from that real life drama. I'm really, really sorry for your circumstances.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel for you, but you're going to come out of this better. Just get those papers filed and get things underway. If she left and ran, guess what? All that stuff's yours. So.
You say all that stuff's yours.
I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yes, now is the time to protect yourself. Now is the time to get that lawyer. You're gonna have to fess up to what's face up to what's actually happened, and
take care of yourself.
Learn from the experience.
Don't do what I would do.
But
don't do what he would do.
Right. Just a disclaimer though. It wasn't the fact that she was an artist that did this. So don't
Yes, it was.
And it wasn't the fact that the guy was on the program either. We'd have called him out.
It's not an artist. It's like, look, if this was going to happen, it was going to happen.
Yes.
Regardless. So, but it's not an artist thing.
And if it wasn't with him, it would have been with somebody else eventually.
So it's
don't blame comics for this.
Right.
Blame the lack of morals on the part of the people.
Right.
Involved.
Put the blame firmly where it belongs.
When I read letters like this, and I'm just reading, I go down like I need this sound effect in my life now. When I'm reading letters, I should just hear.
For real, yeah. That's kind of
vengeful organ music.
Either that or the scratching, the record scratching, or a car crash sound.
Dude, I thought you were gonna go for the Price is Right. Bum, bum, bum,
I have this one too. Hold on. See here.
Oh shit. Oh, yeah.
You should probably keep that one.
Yeah.
I mean, what's funny is that story went completely in a direction I wasn't quite expecting. Yeah. I thought it was going to be like another one of your letters where you have one partner who's the creative person, and you have the other partner who isn't, and there's like that clash that happens.
I think though, and I've seen this.
Although this is obviously an extreme case.
I know an artist that happened to where his another artist, another creator was like, "Oh, I want to do a project with you guys," and they were both creators, and he really wasn't trying to do a project with them. He's trying to do a project with the guy's wife. That's really what he wanted. And then then he's contacting the guy's wife, and next thing you know, same thing, same situation. The wife was like, "I'm going to see my mother for a week. She didn't go see her mother. She was in a hotel room with him.
Yeah,
And,
but that would have happened regardless of the the
occupations.
the occupations.
Yeah. He used the occupation to get to that woman, and that was
right.
unfortunate. Yeah. See, the ninja says nice. No.
Well, depends on which end of it you're on, I guess.
Yeah. Jake says it's not like you control the private life of a person. The Circle Sally should be aware after the shit fest that was that one guy arrested for cheese pizza.
Yeah. We didn't know. We didn't, we didn't know. That was
You don't know these things. I mean,
we don't.
We need a private investigator to go.
No, we don't. We need to just keep talking about. We need to talk.
Yeah,
just keep talking about fun comics and not people.
It's like, look, this is not the Maury Povich show.
Laundry.
It's like, you don't need.
And we can't. We're not gonna be held accountable for every time someone gets
take the wheel.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
We're not gonna be held accountable for every time someone goes out here and does something bad. Look, I pulled the tag on a mattress the other day. Oh shit!
Standards of practice.
There you go. They found out. They found out.
Holy crap! I shall return.
Yeah.
Okay.
I pulled the tag off a mattress.
We don't have. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's tough. It's tough. I mean, happy people don't separate. I guess I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like but Lola says to me. Lola tells me artists are either crazy, male comic artists are either crazy or whores. She's told me this. And
Standards and Practices wanted me to remind you that we are on the air.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Note taken.
Well, and we like to call it marketing.
Note taken. They also said if you take the case right now, they'll offer $100. Right. But I don't know what that means.
Let's see. I am both Varian. Yeah, see, you're just helping Lola. Yeah. Randy, Lola believes that all artists, male artists, comic book artists, are either crazy or whores. Wow. Or if you're from Jersey, whores.
Well, in the comic business, you almost have to be a little hoary.
Right. Like I said, we like to call it marketing.
Especially in the mainstream, you really have to lower your standards and go, I'm only going to get paid to do what? How much per pay? Well,
speaking of reach arounds.
I don't even know what. Yeah. I don't even know if I want that job. Oh, well, I get to draw Wolverine. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's
that's the way that works.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, to this day, I remember going. I used to work in a copy shop, and I was copying someone's tax forms, and they worked for a pharmaceutical company, and they were getting paid like $500,000 a year. And from their tax forms, I couldn't figure out at all what they were doing for $500,000.
Neither could the IRS, probably, but that's a whole other story.
So,
that's a paperwork problem right there.
Yeah.
Indy will not be doing DNA tests to tell me I'm not the father.
Right. Yeah.
That would be fun.
We could do DNA tests on comics, though. Well, you are not the creator.
Yeah.
Stan Lee will be upset.
I wouldn't recommend doing a DNA test on this one, though.
Yeah. Well,
this has several.
Let's jump off of that DNA discussion. We'll get around to printing again. That's not true.
That's true. We were talking about printing, right?
Yeah.
And we're talking about printing at Mixum.
Jake says I'm neither crazy or a whore. I'm a high class escort on prescription drugs. I got standards.
Of course, yes.
And then the last thing to put you guys back on. Thing to put you guys back on track before I get out of here. This one is from Paul. Paul says there's a lot of scumbags out here with 3D printers trying to make money off of the comic book industry, namely the indies. He says that these people are charging outrageous prices for 3D prints. Well, if you just want to get a little figure of your character made to send to backers, it's ridiculous. I was quoted $3,000 for 30 little small 2-inch figures. No articulation, just a pose, one color. Insane. And then with that, guys, I got to get out of here because I got to go to doctor's appointment.
Okay.
Wow, this took a dark turn. See, we're back on comics, though.
Right, there
guys,
you go. Yeah. So Godspeed, sir.
Thank you.
That would be a always let the buyer beware.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, even though 3D printers are really, really common, I guess how people want it's kind of like trying to find person to do a comic. You get like a wild variety of styles and prices and skill sets. So it's not something that you can just go to somebody, get a flat rate and call it a day. It's like you really have to do your research.
Well, and in defense of the printers too, this is still a budding industry for 3D printers, and it will be for a while longer. And folks have a wide range of overhead costs and a wide range of printers, because a lot of this technology, the more it goes, the lower your pricing on the technology is going to go. The person who is quoting you $3,000 might actually just be making a little bit of profit, as opposed to the next guy who got the cheaper printer and has the cheaper material is able to do it for a lot less and makes this guy's price look outrageous. You really have to be careful and understand how the market works. There you are.
There you are.
and ask him, why are you so high? Or there's probably somebody with an older printer whose materials cost a little extra than the current technology.
Also, it depends on how much detail, because I know like different printers can
or it could be greedy.
Well, that too. Different printers can also accomplish different things. So maybe even though they're smaller, they might have more detail in them because he's able to do that. So it's like you really have to, find out like what are the differences in prices. If there is, it could be that he just got this printer and thought he could make bank on making figures and thinks you're a sucker. That's possible too.
It's very possible.
But you have to it's it's the same thing like the printing comics. It's like you have to shop around, compare prices, see what you're actually getting. Just the other day, someone on Facebook had asked about a printer who can do hardcovers, but his caveat that it had to be high quality and it had to be cheap. And I'm like going, honey, I can give you a printer that can do high quality hardcovers, but they're not cheap. And I can give you a printer that can do cheap hardcovers, but they're not really high quality. You kind of have to decide what you willing to compromise on too.
I used to work for a printer that had a motto, and he would tell this to the customers: good, fast, or cheap, pick two.
Yeah, exactly. So and by the way, one of those printers is Mixum. They do beautiful hardcovers, but they're, but you're paying for them.
It's quality.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you pay for that quality. If you want quality, that's what happens.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Okay. Jennifer says, any of you going to MegaCon this August? Looking forward to it. MegaCon, where is MegaCon?
MegaCon's in Orlando.
Orlando.
Florida.
Oh, wishful thinking. Well, I am actually doing the Grand Rapids Con in the second weekend of August, thanks to Mark Hodges. We will be setting up and doing a live remote
cool.
of Indie Volt on I think Sunday Funnies will be coming there from there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
This time. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm going to see who's there and who we can grab, and
that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm looking forward to, seeing like how we can like merge the online experience with being in the physical space at conventions, because it also depends on the Wi-Fi. So.
Well, we have a couple of other live remotes planned throughout the year. One of them is coming up on September 8th.
Oh.
And is the Indie Volt Awards.
Oh, you want to run that commercial?
So we can run that commercial. Yeah. Here we go. for more information on that, you can go to indievoltawards.com. And I think I hope I said September 18th and not September 8th earlier.
September 8th.
So
Yeah,
it's September 18th.
Yeah.
That we'll be broadcasting live from Dave and Buster's, an awards program designed to enlighten and enrich and grow the visibility of independent comics. It's not a it's a judged event and not a popularity contest, except for one award will be a popular fan award, but everything else is put in front of a panel of judges and judged for quality. So and not who likes who. So
we're not the Oscars.
Thanks. Jennifer says beautiful ad. Thank you. Yeah. Well, we're trying to get. Well, we're not the not the current Oscars. There's so many.
Yeah, we're not going to wait until someone's on their deathbed to finally give them the Oscar that they deserve for their entire career.
Well, there's so many crazy award show out there that started out aimed at quality and have turned into popularity contests. It's irritating. So we want to be out there for quality in order to, grab attention to some of these works that deserve the more attention because of the quality of the work, not because of how many people they have in their in their clique. Yep. But anyway, move that up there. There we go.
Right. Well, did you send Michael a link? I think he had mentioned he was asking if he could be on the show.
I sent Russ a link instead.
Right. Okay. There we go.
I'm back.
Hello.
About that.
Hello.
I was seeing Varian out.
Right.
Yep. That's what we figured. It's all good.
Yeah. So how's how you feeling so far in this point in your campaign? Actually, I could ask both of you that. So how are you feeling so far?
I think I'm at that point where it's just stuck. I haven't had any backers in a few days.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Same here. But I've decided not to worry about it, and that I'll do a push here now that I've got some time. I'll do a push here in the last couple of weeks of the campaign, and that'll be it. There's so many other things going on, so many other campaigns that I want to get to and do that I just want to do this one, get that experience under my belt, get the fulfillment done, and get on to the next big thing. So
yeah, I have something planned for Saturday if nothing comes up. It's going to be called backer shots.
Oh, okay.
So for every backer I get during the show, I will take a shot.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Be careful.
It should be fun.
You don't want to promise too much and then end up under the table. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's true. So
you can die from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. But it's like so what is the but obviously that can't possibly be the same the same thing for the entire show. Like what are you planning on discussing?
Oh, the book. It's going to be all about the book.
Oh, okay. So it's just going to be a general thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you inspect this Uber driver?
Oh, well, yeah. I think the last time he said that the guy was talking to himself, but
Oh, the guy that we were in the Uber with?
Yeah.
Oh my God. He was having a conversation with the radio.
Right.
With the DJ. He was moaning, he was humming, he was driving like crazy. Yeah.
We're now joined by Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, how you doing?
Hello.
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. Introduce yourself to the radio audience, please.
Even though we didn't do that, so go ahead.
Oh yeah, we didn't, did we?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I was a bit concerned about the DNA test, so I thought I'd better show up and
we just jumped right into questions. I knew there was something funny.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Oh, look, the Odin. The All-Father's here. The All-Father is here.
I heard someone say Indiegogo marketing.
Yes, exactly.
How are we doing, guys?
All right.
Good. We were just interrupting Russ's introduction.
Yeah. My name's Russ Leach. I draw comics.
Only Russ's cap can save us.
Yeah.
You can find me at russleach.com, comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt, and you can find out about the book Only Death Can Save Us at onlydeathcansavus.com. There is still a limited number of printed versions of the graphic novel available before they go to reprint later on in the year with Arrow Comics. There you go. Get it. There you go. Get it.
And you can see the cover for the
easily
first
one of the
issue.
best reads that I've
Yeah.
had in a while. It's
Oh,
very
thank
good,
you.
man.
It's
Like,
fun.
thank
It's
you.
fun. I like it.
Mine's not by me, so I'll just hold up like.
Yeah, we'll pretend. Yes, we all have it. We all have copies. Trust us on that.
You can see the great cover for the first issue of the Arrow release over at the Arrow Comics.
I love
Facebook's
the
site.
classic feel of that cover.
It does. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
That's what it's all,
everything
that's
from
what
the
I'm at.
aesthetic
Wow.
to the material and everything like that. I love the book. It was one that I'm not even gonna lie. It's one that took me a while to get through because you condense so much fantastic and rich storytelling in each page.
Thank you.
And it's one of those things where like it wasn't like a quick breeze through read for me. It was something that I had to I got to actually like sit down some time and dedicate to get through this because it's really, really just rich. It's like, you know, you can't just sit down and flip through Neil Gaiman's Sandman or anything like that. You've got to actually set time aside and read it, and that's what you did there with Only Death Can Save Us.
Thank you.
You knocked it out of the park.
It was supposed to be multi-level, and Rick came along and helped me out at the end there, and I've literally just had the plot back from him for book 2, and we've sort of worked together on where that's going to go, and it's going to blow the lid off the last one.
Cool.
So yeah, it's bonkers. It's great.
We love bonkers.
Yeah.
That's exciting, man.
Jennifer said, I called my local comic shop and they promised to host me for the next event. How are your comic shops opening there?
As far as I know, they're kind of functioning normally here, or at least the two that are near us. I mean, we have a Midtown Comics outlet that's only open on the weekends, and so far they're open normally. And then we have another store that's open normally too. So, although they're way too tiny to do events and stuff, so I don't know about that. But yeah, that's normal here.
Here in Michigan, all of the businesses are fighting to get back to normal. There's been so many restrictions and different levels and all sorts of craziness. The restaurants have kind of given up trying to do a head count. They some of them still take notations as to where you're from in case they have to track you back or whatever. But most of these places are trying to get back to normal and do business as usual. So where we're at, we were a little afraid because Michigan right now is going through a huge upswing on their cases, and we were definitely afraid that the governor was going to shut us down and restrict the businesses again. But seems the governor decided to go take spring break down in Florida, so she hasn't been making very many rules lately.
I mean, hey, priorities, man.
Yeah, and then when they confronted her about it, they come back. She come back and said, "Hey, it got tossed out of the Supreme Court. I'm not supposed to be able to do anything anyway. That's all up to the health department." So. She passed the buck rather quickly.
Our government is too keen, too busy, selling PPP contracts to their mates, and
that old jag.
Yeah, that old crap. And while they're doing it, putting us under some kind of police state. For a disease that only kills 0.3% of people, but I won't go into.
No, 0.003%.
0.00. Yeah, exactly. It's
Let's not spread misinformation here.
It's absolutely nothing to do with whether you believe it's a real thing or not.
We're going to start getting letters again.
No, or whether you think it's real.
George Orwell would roll over.
Exactly.
Right
whether you think it's real or not, it is real. It's a real thing. But to go around creating an Orwellian response to it is just utterly ridiculous. It could have been handled so much better. Our politicians our collective politicians across the globe are utter dickheads and have no clue what they're
I can
doing.
agree with that, sir.
Okay, so
yes, sir.
there are better ways of running this, much better ways, and our lot are just a shower. And what's even worse is they've got no opposition. That's the way democracy dies. But there you go.
Well, this thing's been changing so much that it's difficult to keep the news straight. Do you touch your face? Do you wash your hands? Do you use one mask or three? It's just ridiculous.
I mean, like I say, I mean, you can have any discussion you like about the details, and that's for medics and scientists and all the rest of it. What's really ground my gears is the fact that it's just a massive overreaction, and instead of actually focusing on people that really needed our help, like like people, old people in care homes.
Mhm.
And at the moment, there's still suffering. There is still a massive issue going on, and people's mental health and just the general health of the country. They've,
Yes.
you know, it's all been about this awful thing that's gone on. And believe you me, governments love it. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. They're all authoritarian. They all want you to do exactly what they want you to do. Don't eat those calories. That's not for you. So, you know, it's just I'm not into it. I just want to go and live in the woods.
Right. Yeah, I know.
But,
Well,
you know,
but
it's
comic conventions though, because
you just had 1,500 radio listeners right now just drop their breakfast or lunch. You know that.
Exactly. But one thing's for sure, but someone had asked about MegaCon before, and it's like, honestly though, it's like, as much as I would like to go back to normal, I don't know. It's like, especially here, I don't see comic book conventions really coming back until next year.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I'd agree with that. And
yeah.
But yeah, like,
as much as I hate to say it, we're still in a holding pattern that the government, like Russ, seems to enjoy us staying in, where we're sure, we're not sure, we're not sure.
Yeah.
I was talking to a business friend of mine yesterday, and he said, day before yesterday, he said, well, hopefully by this time next year we'll be back to normal. And I said, that's exactly what we said last year at this time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, it depended. Well, but the thing is, though, at least at least this year we have the hope of vaccinations. I mean, I get my second one in May.
Let's jump off of that soapbox.
So yeah, exactly. So here's a question
into the bug hour.
So now, well, if Lola was here, I would be asking her the same question too. So now that we have Indiegogo specialist Michael Odin on.
And that's the thing, is that, like, obviously, you know, I've done 3 campaigns on Indiegogo at this point. And I actually wanted, like, when Randy and Andy were and Lola were talking about, you know, they are hitting what is called in the Indiegogo campaign areas, that, like, obviously, and this is crowdfunding in general, but the mid campaign slump. Okay, so like what you have right now is you've gone through, you had your initial boost, which lasts anywhere between a week to 2 weeks of your initial campaign, and then, you know, right before the Randy, did you guys go the full 60 days right out the bat, or just 30 out the bat?
No, I'm sorry, I put it up for 60, which was my fault, but I didn't know.
I was about to say
that was my question. It's
I won't do that
what
again.
Would be the, like, yeah, it's like, even though the option is there, like, what would be the pros and cons of doing a 30-day campaign as opposed to a 60-day campaign?
Yeah.
The way that you want to do it is you want to do a full 60, but you set it for 30. And what you do with this is that you use the 30-day mark as a way to bump people up. All right, because Indiegogo will send out notifications to everyone that, hey, this campaign is ending. You can effectively capitalize on your campaign ending twice. Okay, so because when you hit that 30-day mark, you can extend the campaign another 30 days. And so what you do is you set the campaign for 30, and then when you're reaching the end of the first 30 days, for instance, what I did with Elysian, with the Embrace, is we had stuff that you could only get for the first 30 days, right? And so then you hype that up. You hype that up like, hey, you know, we had Inch High Comic Guy did that review of Elysian Fields issue 0, and he loved it. And so there was a lot of hype that was going around that for a little bit. So I was like, okay, we have the remaster of issue 0. That and the whole Nine Realms catalog thing that I had up there on the campaign, only available for the first 30 days. You need to get in on it now, or or it goes away. And so then you have an uptick in backers. And then you extend for the next 30 days. And then what you do is, at the end of that 60, when you're getting to the 60-day window, you start promoting. Like, I have 9 days left in the campaign. We're at 9,100 right now. So obviously the goal is to hit 10K before we close out the 60 days, and and you kind of leave it up in the air as to whether or not you're going in demand or not, because again, you want to try and push as many people in as soon as possible to hit your benchmarks, because in my opinion, like stretch goals and everything need to stop once you go into in demand. Because when you're in the in demand period, that's people getting the excess orders. You need to be focusing on production of your book. So if you have things in your stretch goals like extra stories, extra pages, this, that, the other, you need to make sure that that's all accounted for by the time you're in demand. Because if you have to go back and like if you hit a stretch goal technically while you're in demand and you're still going with that, well, now you promised people a 12-page story once you hit this point. Right. So now you have to go back and get a 12-page story in this book, and that's going to set your production date back by a lot, because you've got to write the script if you haven't already. You've got to get the artist to start doing the artwork on that, and that's extra time. Like who knows? Maybe your artist who finished their artwork midway through the campaign, they have other clients that they're now doing stuff for. So like, again, it's all about making sure that you capitalize everything. So like for the 60 days, we're like at whatever stretch goals that we don't hit, those are off the table. And so that's the last big push is you capitalize it by that. And that's how you end up managing it. Now, I know that Randy, your guys' campaign is doing very well, actually. For a first campaign with everything, you're at 167% funding, and that's really good.
I set that low on purpose because what matters to me is getting the book into people's hands and not having to pass some goalpost. So it was a lot more important to me to hit that and pass it, just so everybody knew. Book's coming out. It's going to happen regardless how many backers I get. They're all going to get the book. So, yeah.
And to be fair, like, yeah, you might have said it low, but it's a respect. It's not like there are a lot of campaigns out there that will just put like a $300 to $500 minimum up there.
Yeah.
So it's you hit a respectable mark. You're at two
right.
grand, a little over $2,000 right now.
Yeah, almost 2,100. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's you guys are doing really well, and I'm trying to find Lola's campaign here really quick.
Yeah.
That's
LURE. Yeah.
I'll post it.
Yeah. So Lola, so this being your first campaign, and how many days you have left on it? Well, you still have a while because you did how many days did you do it?
60.
Okay. So
I have 39 days left.
Okay. So if you were to, I guess, on your next campaign, what are you like? If you were to do this over, what is something that you would have changed now that you kind of know? Like, what would you have done differently for the campaign?
Probably listened to my husband and made the goal smaller, just so that I can have it funded.
Okay. I mean,
but none of us listen to Varian, so there's no problem with that.
Right. But here's the thing, though, because here's the thing. Because the thing is, though, I know that you had explained like why you came up with the goal that you did. So Michael, what is like the trade-off here between the importance of funding, but also the importance of being able to afford the book that you are making the campaign for?
Okay, so here's the big deal with that. Generally, what I try to do when it comes down to putting down your funding goal is you take a look at what your overhead is. What you need to get, what you've invested into the book, or what you will be investing into the book, printing, guesstimate for shipping, because like it is a dark horse. You don't know how many backers you're going to be getting, how many international, et cetera, et cetera. So you kind of, take a look at everything. You're like, okay, this is my first campaign. If we hit 100 backers, like this would be where I'd be expecting to pay for shipping. And so you have that as your overhead. And so what I like to do is, because Indiegogo's platform is based around you hitting the funding mark, and then every single time that you double that, so like every single time you hit another 100%, actually, that's more accurate, but every single time you hit another 100%, it pushes it at the algorithm actively pushes your campaign forward and gets it out to more people. So what I do is I look at my overhead, which is going to be big because these books are expensive. I think on the cheaper end of things, if you're looking at hiring artists and what have you, you're spending at least $4,000 on production of the book at minimum, for quality art and everything like that. And then you add in everything else. Let's say the figure is $6,000. So what I would do is I would put it at $3,000. But there's also the whole thing of, this is why pre-campaigning is so important, is making sure that people are aware of your book and everything like that. There's a lot of people who swear by, make sure that you have your mailing list at minimum between 200 and 300 signups, because that guarantees that you're going to have a good chunk of those people there within that first week. And so long as you're keeping them up to date with everything and sending out emails, there's the whole aspect of launch events, everything like that. And that all plays into how you handle the Indiegogo campaign, because it's all about generating the hype. It's all about generating the excitement. I think that 3K isn't a bad goal. Now, if you are worried about that, Lola, Indiegogo does offer the ability to change your campaign goal once during your campaign. So if that's something,
I do that because I tried doing that.
You hit up their support thing. There's a way for you to contact their support. Now I can actually walk you through that, because I've done it before. I did it for Elysian Fields issue 0, because when I got into this industry, I was a dumbass. And I was like, oh, everyone's making like 100K on Indiegogo.
Exactly.
It's completely reasonable to be putting a 10K campaign goal. And so like I ended up lowering it like the final week of the campaign, so that people would stop freaking out, because the big question was like, oh, what's going to happen if you don't fund, with this being a flex goal? Are you still going to make the book?
Morning,
or what's the deal?
Because that's the thing too, because even with a flex goal, it doesn't necessarily mean you can still afford to print your book.
Exactly. And
right.
And so that was the thing, is I was tired of having to tell people, like, hey, like if I don't hit this, it doesn't matter. Like A, like the book's already been paid for, and B, like all this is like, I invested paying for the book as a personal hit. It's an investment into my own personal interest. All I need this for is the printing and the shipping. And so, like, I was going to get it out to people no matter what. But what I ended up doing is I lowered the campaign from 10 to 7. And we cleared the 7 and what have you. As I didn't want to drop it too much, because I feel like that would have made people like, well, why didn't you do this initially? Whatever. But as I said, it all comes down to, where you're thinking, how you prepare the campaign. Soft launches have been the death of so many campaigns. There are a lot of campaigns out there right now, especially on Indiegogo, that look phenomenal. And the fact of the matter is that they didn't pre-promote. So these campaigns will have a very hard time clearing 5 figures or even get funding, depending on like if this is a first-time creator or what have you. Like it's so important to make sure that you are going out there on multiple different shows and exposing yourself to different audiences and what have you.
Bristolian says building your name is the biggest thing. You can have an amazing book, but if no one knows who you are, the chance of them backing reduces drastically.
Yeah, the funny thing about our current campaign for Tall Tales, which you can go to eagleworks.com and find a link there to it. By the way,
morning, Chris.
Is that we're getting a lot of new people to the campaign, which is funny because I guess I'm sure if we did the research, we could find out where they're coming from. But the thing is, though, like we have our regulars, and then the rest of it is all people we don't know. So, so it's like, it really is important to expose yourself to different audiences.
I think my biggest problem, though, is I got people talking behind my back about my book.
Well, it's because you're doing an adult title,
right?
So you see, and that's.
So that's also okay. So we have, but and also so these are the differences between. So Is there a different marketing strategy for doing, like, say, an individual issue as opposed to doing a trade, or is it pretty much the same for both?
I don't. The big thing with individual issues versus a trade is what your price points are, because there are a lot of people that overprice individual issues.
Russ.
Russ, go on ahead. I've been hogging.
Sorry,
the time.
no, I just wanted to make a point about the word trade. It's
Oh,
either an original graphic novel.
Well,
or
I guess
it's
like a collection, like
a collection of issues is a trade paperback.
Right.
That's a trade. Yeah. An original graphic novel
right.
is one piece. So, for instance,
Well, here in the States, they also refer to a trade as the book format.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
trade
I was thinking
but I think it can be confusing for people.
Yes.
And it needs to be. So, for instance, this is being split up into floppies.
So it's a graphic novel that turned into a trade.
It's the opposite way around.
Yeah.
So technically, it will become a trade. But
Right.
eventually, what will happen is they will all be reprinted as
Right.
one big trade. Okay, the whole 3 books will be printed as one big trade. Okay, but so this is not me. Oh, I'm correcting you. What I'm trying to say is for the audience, because there are such variations. It's important that people understand that they're getting something original from crowdfunding. Unless it specifically tells you that you're getting a trade, or you're getting a collection of issues, and I think that does make a difference when people are committing to back. I think it does make a difference.
Well, I meant trade more like a trade paperback, not necessarily specific.
In format,
but the thing is, but now that you mention it, though, is like, but that also brings a certain nuance to the question, because it's like, if, like, say, if I didn't offer the individual issues on Indiegogo, and I'm thinking for myself here, if I didn't offer up the individual issues on Indiegogo, but I offer up the collected version of those individual issues, would that be like a benefit, or would that be like kind of like shooting myself in the foot?
So no, I think if you've never offered them before, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Like I offer up the individual issues on Kickstarter, but I know that Indiegogo has a completely different audience.
But you see, then you can actually look at it from a perspective of different audiences required.
Right. Okay.
So that's a different question. I never jumped in to correct anybody.
Right. No, not at all. Like I said, because now you brought in that nuance. So now it's like, oh wait,
because it does make a difference, and exactly as Michael was saying, you have those audiences, and what you're saying there is an even more nuance.
Right.
So you can go away and put a bunch of floppies out on Kickstarter, then collect them all together, and it's an original graphic novel,
right?
For all intents and purposes, because you're going to a completely different audience,
right? So it's like, I could say that it's like this is a collected trade on Indiegogo, but would that affect the audience? Like, would they say, well, where were the individual floppies?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think the crowdfunding audience in general is actually quite nuanced in itself. And if they see a product they like, it doesn't matter kind of where it's come from. They kind of, if it's a great product, they'll back it. And Michael is absolutely 100% right. It's got to be a combination of good product and good marketing.
Bingo.
If you don't get out there and say, this is me, I am approachable as a creator, come see me, come talk to me, this is what I'm on these shows, and also get involved. I know we don't like to use the word community, I don't like it, but get involved in the wider industry, be out there talking to people, be out there offering yourself up, offering your experience, but also offering yourself as someone who wants to learn from other people. Be humble, be out there, be approachable. You do all that, you get onto shows, you have your own shows, whatever it might be, and you sell the hell out of your work. Okay, you've got to be an entrepreneur nowadays to be a comic book artist. You can't just sit in the dungeon anymore. That's what I wanted to do. But
remember, crazy whore. That's what we are.
Crazy whore, indeed.
Crazy whore. That's like, I have a pencil.
Leave me alone.
But it's got to be both. It's got to be both. You have to have a good product at the end of it. You can't just sell vaporware. It must be good. Otherwise, people will just switch off and go, well, you know, you sold well, but damn it, that's crap. So
Nefarious
So-
says not people we don't know, it's people we don't know yet.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
cousins
exactly,
from another country or a long lost aunt.
Right. Yeah. That's it's trying to get. Yeah. It's trying to find all the cousins.
And Kev was wanted to know if Google's still removing links from the chat. Apparently they are.
Yeah, so that was a big thing, and it's targeting specific areas of the industry as well, and it's very disturbing. To talk to Lola after the show, I actually have some ideas on how you could actually the people that you could talk to get to that, because as you said, this is an adult book, and so marketing it requires a specific avenue, and that means that you got to get onto the right show, I think is the big answer. As for the people talking shit about your book behind your back, I mean, I guess just welcome to the industry. You know,
Yeah,
I
people are going to be doing that anyway.
people like that's like yeah, you know, it might affect you a little bit, but like I've actively had people try and dissuade people from backing my books live in chat for things that aren't in my control. Such as platform. So like trust me, it's like, yeah, it might affect like onesie twosies, but it's not the death of your campaign. I think the big thing is hitting the right target audience.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be petty people everywhere, so it's like, you know. So Joe brought up a question about
Dave wants to know if he can be a loony slut instead.
Absolutely.
Bingo.
With no
Go
kink
ahead.
shaming here. That whether something about the marketing, like, okay, so say you have, you know, you have mostly like for me especially, it's like most of my experiences on Kickstarter is like, so how different is there a difference between the marketing that I would do once I put a project on Indiegogo, or is it kind of pretty much the same? Or
there are similarities, there are differences. Like it honestly all depends. Like obviously the Indiegogo layout is very different to Kickstarter, and there are certain things that you can do with Indiegogo that I feel will that are obviously different than what you do with Kickstarter. I do know that, you know, on Indiegogo, I know on Kickstarter one of the big things is everyone just packs like a bunch of variants on it, but on the Indiegogo side of things, it's kind of like a golden rule: limit yourself to 3 to 4 variants. You don't need
really, okay, yeah, because
like
that's the one thing that I noticed, that sometimes it looks like oh, and by the way, just to reference the comment, build it and they will come only applies to baseball fields and mouse traps.
Bingo.
That's only if you have the right cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Is that yeah, it's that Kickstarter, it just sometimes it looks like people probably make more money off of variants than they do off of the actual book. And what's funny is like I'm setting up my next campaign, and it's like I'm kind of falling into that trap too, but I guess that's the nature of the beast on Kickstarter. So, but with you're saying that with Indiegogo, that's not the case, that it's
like it's one of those things where I think that the consensus on a lot of people that back Indiegogo projects is the more variant covers that you have, the more you're trying to distract from what's inside your book. It's kind of what I've gathered from the psychology of it is like, oh man, you have like 20 million really good looking variant covers, but where's the interior art? You know, let's look at what's inside this book. And don't get me wrong, like there are plenty, like I've seen Kickstarters that have like 20 million variants, and the interior of the book looks gorgeous as well. But it's one of those things where I feel that that's one of the Indiegogo market. It caters to a specific type of customers, and one of the big consumer complaints from the mainstream that drove them to this was the fact that the mainstream was piling on 20-30 variants.
Right. Yeah.
So that's one of those things where it's like, I don't really care about that. I want the book. 2-3 variants is fine, maybe 4 if you unlock one as a stretch goal kind of deal. But
I refuse to do them. I won't do them.
Yeah, no, and that's like
it's the book.
Yeah, you get the book, and
But again, I think that trade, I mean, it's like, because I know Lola did a variant cover for her trade paperback. I'm talking about a trade paperback. But it's like a variant covers for a trade paperback is incredibly unusual. Like I said, Lola, I think, is the only one I've ever heard of doing that. And so I wouldn't even expect variant covers from a trade. Like I said, that just seems to be a floppy thing.
Well, so you also have to realize, so when as Russ pointed out, that you have like there's a difference between obviously like the trade paperback format, which collects multiple issues, versus like the full-on graphic novel. And most of the campaigns that are going on Indiegogo are full-on graphic novels. Like the average that I've seen is anywhere between 60 and 80 pages. Because they want to be able to charge that $20 to $25 price mark. And the general rule of thumb for backing campaigns is that if you are paying $20 for a book, it has to be at minimum 48 pages.
And $20 for 48 pages?
That's the minimum. Like
I'm charging 25 for 80 pages.
I mean, for my individual issues, I charge $10 for 32 pages. Sounds so expensive now.
But that's the whole thing, is that $10 for 32 pages is going to be fine. People are going to be very happy with that price, because it's not like you're talking, that's 32 pages. I assume including cover and what have you, right?
Well, it's 32 pages interior, full color, and then you have the cover, so it's not counting the cover, right? Yeah.
So then like that's like a $10 price point for that. People would be very happy. But like that's the whole thing, is that like if you're I've seen books that it's like they're effectively a floppy, and they're charging $25 because that's like the standard thing that people are seeing in campaigns, is like, oh, well, everyone's having their tiers at this, but they're not paying attention to the page count of each of these campaigns. Right. And so if you're charging $20 to $25 for that, like you'll probably get people to back it at first, but the moment they get that book, they're going to be pissed. I mean, that actively happened with Richard C. Myers' Pandemic, is that he charged $20 for the for Pandemic and for Ballad of No each, and both of those were 30 pages of story.
Yeah. I think the trouble is you've had the Wild West for the past 3 or 4 years with crowdfunding for comics. I know it started off at Kickstarter, and then for one reason or another, it's gone to Indiegogo. You've got slightly different audiences on each platform, slightly different ways of buying, slightly different. The audiences themselves expect different things. There was this sort of precedent set of a $25 book. People were the audience on Indiegogo accepted paying $25 for a 48-page book of quality content. Things have moved on, okay, and now people are expecting more for that $25. And so,
I don't blame them,
to be honest, so they should. Okay, and it should be quality content as well. Now, there's no harm in suggesting that you get a premium for a particular kind of book. I mean, when at the end of the day, we're crowdfunding artisan products. So you expect to pay more than you would pay for whatever you get from Batman or whatever, okay? Because you're not just buying into that product, at the end product, you're buying into the whole process. You want to be being a crowdfunding backer is almost like playing a video game. You're wanting to, you see the totals going up, and you interact with that person, and it's like an interactive game in some ways, but you feel part of the project, you feel part of the process, and so you get that extra zing back, you get that extra adrenaline back when you get the book in your hand. You think, I helped that come into being. That's what crowdfunding is about. So you've also got this dichotomy of it's not a customer facing shop, but at the same time, the whole point of what we're doing is to treat comic book customers properly. treat them well, give them quality product, let them interact with you, not across the table, not necessarily across the table at a convention and get grumpy with them. Okay, as some creators do. I've never done that, and I'm sure none of the people on this panel have ever done that. You might have got grumpy, but it's a sweet kind of grumpy. You're giving people access to you. You're giving people access to your project, to the way that you produce, and hopefully convincing them that what you're going to do is going to be really good. On top of that, there should always be some sweat equity in the project. You should always show, exactly as Michael has said, you must show internal pages. Don't just put a bunch of covers up, because anybody could have done them. Okay, you put up quality content, not too much because people don't want to see all the book, but just a little bit, okay, so that people can be convinced that you've already put in some pain and some sweat and some hard cash, okay, but also that there's a quality product on the way, okay. Then you start adding the extras.
Yep. Empyrean Vol points out that if there's 39 days left, there's still time to do a live stream.
I got shows lined up.
One other thing I'd say about in demand, and I don't quite know how this is going to work out for me, but I see this as my third push. Okay, so I did the 30 days knowing how it worked. Although if looking back, maybe I'd have a different target, but I literally just took it from a business perspective and said, that's my target. It was a fairly high target, £5,000, which is like $7,500 or something. Yeah. So it's fairly high, especially for a first time out. But I did my best to get there. And obviously I've exceeded it. I've nearly doubled it. I'm really happy with that. But the point being is that I did that first 30 days knowing how that worked. I got some good advice. And then did the second 30 days to the 60-day finish. I'm now in demand. And I've seen a reasonable amount of triple come through. But there will come a point where I'm going to have to close down the in demand. Because I've got another book coming. So at that point, I see it as another push. There are books there waiting for you to have. They're already printed. They're already done. Other people are happy with the product. You've seen reviews. There's a buzz about it. So use your in demand, if you do decide to do it, as one more push at the end of the campaign.
Bingo.
Nefarious says, no matter where you are, you need exposure.
Yeah.
Jake's got a link.
Just don't get paid in it.
Yeah.
If you post a bunch of interior art on the campaign page, you should be fine, especially if the variants are from in-demand artists.
Yeah, I guess it's like that's where a lot of the nuance comes in.
Pop says positive exposure is king. Negative press gets no play.
Yeah. I hate the people who say that all all attention is good attention. It's like, no, it's not.
No.
It's not.
Nefarious says writers like me and Odin get the shaft when it comes to cover commissions.
Sometimes that is very correct.
What does he mean
killing
by that?
links?
There are some artists that will charge like arm and a leg for stuff, and it's like they're not necessarily worth it's not really necessarily worth the price of the piece sometimes, and it's something that's very difficult because you could want to have somebody do a cover for your book, but if they're charging you $800 for that cover,
right? Yeah.
No, I'm far more reasonable than that.
Yes, you are.
You are not in the part of that conversation.
Right.
But again, there are so many people out there that are just starting their campaigns. Yeah. They're getting their toes wet. They don't realize 800. Yeah. Holy crap, no.
Right. Yeah, because
I've been out there looking for people for Arrow Comics, and I've been getting price quotes from people for their pages, and I'm getting a really good idea of who does and who does not want to work.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you want that much for a page?
Right. Well,
maybe
yeah.
I'll get back in touch with you later.
Well, yeah, because JD, he outs.
Varian wanted me to share this message with everybody.
He found himself completely nude in my dermatologist's office.
Oh well, yes. Nice. Well.
Congratulations.
Yeah, hello.
You're in there, and
hello,
nurse. At least you're there, and they're not pointing at it and going, "What are those bullet wounds?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's like JD, he outsources a lot of his artwork, so he's constantly looking for artists, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, I guess it's kind of like it circles back to the question from the beginning of the show about looking for printers.
Mhm.
It's like, it's not something that you could just go up to people and go, oh, hey, do this, here's the price, call it a day. It's like, no, you actually have to search, you have to look, you have to talk to people. Sometimes you have to test them out. It's like, come up with like a 1-page script that'll give you like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 pages, and pay for that work to see if they can even do the work.
Yeah,
sometimes you have to do that.
Don't just have them pencil, 1 page at a time, and then thanks,
right,
and then end up printing a thing. Yeah.
Right. It's like, yeah, it's like it's work looking for people.
Like
and it's
that.
like, yeah, and there's some people, there's some creators out there, there's some artists out there who think that, oh, well, people at Marvel and DC, i.e., well, Jim Lee gets paid this, so why can't I get paid that? And it's like, and they have no connection as to
because you ain't Jim Lee,
as to what the connection might be.
Those are the people that most likely are not working.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, though, JD comes across these people all the time that it's like they want $400 a page. And it's like, Jim Lee doesn't even get $400 a page. What are you talking about?
That would be nice.
So, yeah.
Russ is just like,
that's why you have to go into this doing your research. You have to know what a decent page rate is for the quality of artists that you're getting. And there are some cover painters out there that if they were to ask for a higher price would be worth the higher price because they can make that much. I'm sure Alex Ross doesn't work for $200.
Right, exactly.
Sure, he doesn't. But Alex Ross also pulls in a certain amount of pull on that, and it's worth the money if you can afford it.
And that's the thing. And if you're looking for people to do variant covers for your campaign, that's a cost you have to add to your campaign. If someone's charging you $200 for a variant cover, you have to think about whether you can get that $200 back on your campaign just on that cover. So it's not about, I mean, it's like we were looking at one campaign and we kind of did some quick math on it, assuming a lot because we don't know what a lot of these more popular artists go for. And we were figuring that maybe it's like they probably laid out like $3,000 just for variant covers. I mean, that's $3,000 he has to make back just to pay for those covers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's something you really have to consider. That's like, you can't just get variant covers. It's like you really, this is part of your campaign funding goal. This becomes part of that.
Nefarious says Russ will be in touch, but also keep in mind Russ is booked up for a few months.
Right, yeah. Russ is a busy man.
I gotta get off here and get ready for my next show.
Oh, there you go. So good luck, Lola.
Good luck, Lola. Hit me up here in a little bit. I would like to talk to you about some stuff.
Yeah, I'll hit you up after I get off the show with Sugar Curse.
I should have heard him.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye,
guys.
Bye.
See ya. Take care. And Lola's going over to the morning roast, which I think starts here in about 10 minutes. So,
and trust me, Lola will look better in a red dress than Sugar will. So,
lies.
Michael, tell folks how they can get a hold of you.
Hey guys, I'm Michael Oden. You can find me on Twitter at ElysianFields_0. You can find us on 9 Realms Publishing on Facebook. We have a lot of really exciting stuff. We are offering for anyone that's getting into campaigns and what have you. We just started a 9 Realms campaign charting service for the Indiegogo platform. So please take advantage of that. We have a few packages that are very affordable, and that's the whole aim is to make sure that we have rates that really benefit our consumers and don't like gouge them, because the idea is help new people come in.
Russ, tell people how they can find you.
You can find me at Comic Book Black Belt on YouTube. I'm up at 705 subs now, so it'd be really nice if I could get some more and get to the magic 1,000. You can find out more about my production process there. You can also get me at russleach.com or comicbookblackbelt.com and all the associated social media sites that you can think of, like the Twitter and the Fleecebook. You can also find out about my book, Only Death Can Save Us, at onlydeathcansavus.com. You can still buy an original copy of the original format over at Indiegogo. There is a link on the website. Just go over to onlydeathcansavus.com. You can also find a store there if you want to get yourself a death mug, or if you want a comic book black belt t-shirt, they're over there. Go check them out. And you can also find me on a Thursday afternoon or evening or morning. I can't work it out, but you'll find me on a Thursday. If I'm not here, then I'm going over to Fulton Land with Joe Fulton, where we discuss comics on a Thursday morning in the States, I believe. That's
Daphne, let folks know how they can find you. I'm here reading the chat. We're so far behind.
The chat, the chat's bugging out. Okay. So you can find me at egoworks.com. That's my main portfolio site, where you can find all my links to social media. My Facebook is mostly where I like to hang out. Although if you want to watch me act up, I'm on Twitter too. You can read the first 5 issues of Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free at egoworks.com. And you can check out the link to Tall Tales Online, TIILS, where not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but the link to the Kickstarter for the collected first trade, starting the series from the beginning, trust me, is a lot more convenient to get than reading those 20 issues online. So you can check everything out at egoworks.com and talltalesonline.com.
And before we close out, Jennifer had one quick question, needs a quick response. This will be my first comic. I'm not planning on doing anything like a variant cover. Don't you have to be famous to do one anyway, and it's selling? Quick answer, Moden.
No, if anything, one variant could actually bring in some variety to your campaign that'll allow people another option.
Also, a variant cover doesn't necessarily have to mean like different artists. When I did my first campaign for Ego Raven, I had like 3 different versions of the same cover, but just I had a virgin cover, I had a sketch cover, and I had a hollow foil cover. And those did very well for me. So you can do variants without shelling out the money for another artist.
So true. I believe Hybrids, that Luke Stone is offering now, or will be offering shortly, Hybrid 7, has 3 different covers all by Luke. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. Variant
it just has to look cool and be attractive. Yeah.
Shiny, the shinier the better.
For our sequential art collection, the Indie Volt Revolt book, we have 2 different cover sets because it's a flip book. You go in one side, you flip the book over, and you go in from the back halfway through the book. But that's because I had so many people offer covers and so many great pieces come in. Daphne did an awesome Mischievous piece, and I'm looking at it and going, we really need to make this a cover. And so, it was kind of a no-brainer. And then once I heard that we were getting a Retro Ram cover on top of that, it's like gonna need to make another cover set. So we offer 2 cover sets, all of it's just 4 phenomenal pieces of artwork, just all of them begging for a cover. So instead of offering 4 different covers, it's a flip book with 2 different cover sets. So just to try to keep, I wanted to have a choice so that folks could buy 2 if they wanted to, but not overburden them with a wide variety of variant covers. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening. This has been the Breakfast Buzz for April 22nd, 2021. I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can find me occasionally, not very often, on the Twitter under Randy Zim. You can find me at Arrow Comics 4.0 over on Facebook. Do go over there and like that page. We're constantly posting artwork as it becomes available on a lot of the projects that we've got coming out, and you haven't seen. Believe me, you haven't even seen half of what we're doing yet. And I can't wait to introduce these other books to you. But right now I'm working on the current set, and hopefully soon we'll be announcing those and getting them out there. We want to tell everybody that I will be back Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for the Sunday Funnies. Daphne should be joining me for that. Hopefully, maybe Russ as well. We'll see who else we can get around that early on Sunday morning. What?
I'll bring my hat.
You'll bring a hat.
Yeah, I'll bring a hat.
I'll still have a hat on.
where we over on the Sunday mornings, we like to talk a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more fun about the funny side of funny books, though the conversation does tend to wander just like it did today. So again, thank everybody. We are Monday nights at 9 p.m. here on the Indie Volt Radio Network as it came from Webtoons with Eric Hodson. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. is the Live Wire program, really the original Indie Volt podcast. Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Yeah, all these times are Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll be back here again Thursday morning for the Breakfast Buzz once again at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, don't forget Pitches Be Crazy. That's on Saturday, I believe, at 2 in the afternoon here at Eastern Standard Time. Please adjust your clocks accordingly. You can always catch us at Indie Volt Radio through the link at indievolt.com. You can listen on live now. You can get the app from Google Play, or there's also a Streama app. If you ask Alexa nicely to play Indie Volt Radio, she might actually do that for you. So you can always get to the link over at www.indievolt.com. And whenever there's not podcasts like this going on, there's a wide variety of alternative music, a lot of which you may not have heard before, that the Indie Princess actually programs for us. There's also a Roku channel, Indie Volt TV, where they play your occasional movie, your wrestling matches, documentaries, all sorts of unusual things, including podcasts that were a little too racy for YouTube, which we promise there'll be more of those up sometime soon. Please feel free to send us in your letters of comments and questions, indievoltlive@indievolt.com. Make sure you include Indie Volt Live in the subject line so that Varian will read that first and not think that you're spam. And please keep emails to 90 words or less so that Varian can type them on a card and perhaps have them make sense to the rest of the panel here. And remember, it doesn't matter how silly your question is or how serious it is. All questions are welcome here because our feedback will be better because of your setback. Hashtag get an education. Hashtag Indie Volt. I think that's it. The Indie Volt Awards are coming up September 18th. That'll be broadcast live from Dave and Buster's. If you are interested in getting in on that, there is a paid admission for consideration of your product. So definitely go up to indievoltawards.com. Take a look at that there. All the proceeds from your entrance fees all goes to Autism Speaks. And it's a nationally sponsored, it's going to be a nationally sponsored event. We have a lot of great sponsors, and we're getting more constantly. Give me just a second here. Jesus, what? Anyway.
Oh, my phone dinged, and it was way louder than I was expecting, and it caught me off guard.
On our way out the door, we want to remind you of the immortal words of Mr. Jack Kirby. It says, "Kid, comics will break your heart."
And we wouldn't have it any other way.
We wouldn't have it any other way. We wish you all the best. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you again Sunday morning for the Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. You can go over to, make sure you go over to Indiegogo. But while I'm stepping out the door here, I forgot to mention the crowdfunding campaign, Indiegogo for Indie Volt Revolt, which is a sequential art collection of the highest order done by a lot of contributors here on the Indie Volt podcast. Also, while you're over at Indiegogo, take a look at Lure, Lure, which is the Indie Princess's book. That she would be really happy if you were to take that into consideration and back it if you so please. Again, thanks again for listening. We will step out now as soon as I find the ending. And any last words from anybody?
Buy indie comics, especially ours.
Buy my book.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy my book.
Buy my book.
Buy my book.
That's what Tanya.
Indie Volt Revolt.
Ciao.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Adios.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Bye, Jack. We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wayne? No horseshit, Jack.